What are the good deeds that will make sure that we have a good and pleasant future?
This is a problem. We already understand that we can't understand or judge good deeds according to our corporeal, egoistic mind, but according to some higher standard, which is disconnected from the egoistic human nature. And therefore, first of all, we have to rise above our own nature, transcend it, and only then can we determine what good and bad is, in order not to be wrong. And therefore, the wisdom of Kabbalah, through many initial stages, leads us to a state where we come out of our ego, rise above it. It's called coming out of Egypt, coming out from under the rule of Pharaoh, of our ego. And then, when we already come out of our ego, then it explains further when we become free of it, from its control. How can we then see the world correctly? Because before that, for sure, we see it in a distorted way. Our ego distorts everything. And then we can already make the correct calculations and say what's good, and then decide what's truly to the benefit of man, mankind, the world, and creation.
That means that if I did a lot of good deeds...
How can you know that these are good deeds?
That is what I really don't know at all. It's what we need to learn.
Right, but don't think that if you do a good deed, that you'll get a good response.
Why?
This is also a problem. Because all of these methods, these other teachings, they don't deepen as the wisdom of Kabbalah does. The wisdom of Kabbalah says simply, if you've correctly corrected a certain desire of yours, you're shown an even greater corrupted desire for you to correct it. Meaning, after a good action of correcting something, and now you want to egoistically enjoy its fruits, right? So you're shown an even greater corrupted desire, meaning you feel even worse instead of feeling better. Where's my reward? So the reward is that you're given a greater, more corrupted, evil inclination, desire, and you feel that the world is a darker and more corrupted place, and why do I deserve this? Meaning we have to understand that here we all the time have to be ready to correctly perceive what's going on above our ego. And this is something that you can't do on your own, so you need a society, at least a 10, this is the optimum measure, that then we can keep ourselves and direct ourselves correctly and understand why are the corruptions revealed after the good deeds. It's a completely different approach than you started our show with.
What I'm understanding is that the good is actually the better opportunity or challenge, the more challenging opportunity. But is it worth it? Was it worth all this effort?
It's like in school. If I succeed, I'm given a harder exercise. And I remember I used to play, so every time I was given harder exercises because I succeeded in the previous ones.
So actually reality is a kind of university of life that is teaching us. Is it worth it?
If I look at the end goal that everyone has to achieve, and the main thing for me is to acquire the force of bestowal upon the force of reception, meaning despite it. So all the time, on the one hand, I'm walking in greater and greater darkness and sorrow that's revealed in my vessels of reception. On the other hand, I acquire the light that lifts me above this darkness, my ego. And this way I consist of both lines, the good and the bad, and I build myself above them, higher and higher. I don't need the bad, and also I don't need the good. The main thing is that I rise above, I'm more connected to the upper force by these two forces of good and bad. This is my reward.
So who is this person who...
This is called man, Adam in Hebrew, that middle line, that point where I connect the good and the bad together in order to achieve adhesion, to be like the Creator, the upper force. This is called Adam, man in Hebrew, also meaning similar to the Creator.
Is this the same unity that you described earlier with all of humanity and nature?
So as a result of our unity, we also unite with Him.
It sounds like we have a lot to aspire to and to learn.
We have to learn and realize. Good luck.